Here we go. Yep, streamed 6 minutes ago.
We are back up. We are back up, guys. And sorry about that. Obviously, I was a bit shit. I did shit, and yeah, I absolutely fucking fucked it up. All right. So I ended up creating a new tier list. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, obviously you can. I believe so. So yeah, guys, we are obviously going to do the whole thing. Starting with obviously the 3 stages of hell now, because I've uploaded. By the way, I uploaded Last Man Standing twice. Right. So on to what we were doing. Right. So the 3 stages of hell.
The 3 stages of hell.
Yeah.
I love a 3 stages of hell match.
Do you?
Oh, I adore it. I love a match that is a big, long slog. Like, as in,
yeah,
you know,
Jake's way, hey.
someone. You know, I love a 3 stages of hell match. Reason being, you know that someone is gonna just about die.
Well, yeah.
So
just about die. Well, okay.
Virtually.
We'll put it that way.
Well, let's put it this way, right? Yeah. Imagine going through something like a Last Man Standing, a tables match, and let's just throw another random match type in there. A TLC match. Yeah. Imagine that. 3 matches. Well, and the thing is, there's never going to be a 3 stages of hell match where it ends at 2-0. Well, you're always going to see all 3 matches.
Actually, I do recall one, I believe so, if I'm correct, where there was actually only 2 matches. If I'm correct. I believe I have seen one before now. I can't quite remember which one, but I'm sure there was one. They haven't done a 3 stages of hell match in a while, Jigs, I will say. The last 3 stages of hell match, I'm pretty sure that happened, was the one that's actually on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. The Randy Orton and Triple H one back in 2009.
I was about to say, there's never a 3 stages of hell match without a Triple H somewhere near it, is there?
No, I don't actually think there's been a 3 stages of hell match without him in, to be fair. I mean, the last one before Randy Orton and Triple H that I can recall that sticks in my head to this day is Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, No Way Out 2001. That is the one that sticks into my head, because that's the first. If you ever mention 3 stages of hell, that is the first one that pops into my head. For some reason, I don't know why. It's whether it's because it's a memorable era, or whether it's because it's just before the Rock and Stone Cold 2 or whatnot at WrestleMania. I don't know, but if you were to ever mention that, that'd be the first one to pop into my head.
I can imagine a really good NXT 3 stages of hell match.
Yeah,
where the wrestling is really, really good. You know, I'd love to see him again. To be honest, I would really love to see him again. And I actually want to put this in great, personally. What about yourself? I mean, I love a 3 stage match just because there's so many varieties you can do.
Yeah, there is a lot of variety you can do, especially because obviously you could have you could have like an Extreme Rules in the first, a submission in the second, and a Last Man Standing in the third, or you could go Inferno in there, or you could. I guess you could say it's great, to be honest, because you don't know what's coming, do you? Really.
Could you imagine something like 2 massive wrestlers right now? Yeah. I'm a bit more of an archived wrestling fan rather than a current one, right? But can you imagine 2 amazing wrestlers, WrestleMania, whatever, right? A 3 stages of hell match as the main event.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'd imagine, like, if we're going to speak by today's standards,
yeah.
If we're going to speak by today's standards, WrestleMania 40, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. For a type, maybe. Good match type. Possibly. I don't know. Personally, the main event of WrestleMania, I don't think that's ever had a stipulation, though. But 3 stages of hell, yeah, I think that could go in the one of the top 2 tiers. I'd probably put it in great, yeah.
I'd probably put it in great with that one.
I'm going to go with great. I think that's probably one of the most memorable match types of history, really. To be fair, I'm not going to lie. Especially when you've got, like I said, the one that sticks in my mind, Triple H and Stone Cold. No way out.
We've started strong.
Yeah, started strong.
That's a fucking good match type.
Yeah.
What are we on next?
Okay, Josh? Ambulance. Now this one, I'm going to be honest. I've never seen a good. I can't recall a good ambulance match where I don't know. Like John Cena versus Kane is the last one. No, that's not the last one I remember, but it's the last one that sticks in my mind.
That's the only one that I can recall for an ambulance match. And am I correct in saying you have to push them all? No, is that a stretch match where you go all the way to the top of the ramp?
That's the stretcher match.
Ambulance stipulation.
Ambulance match is where basically you've got to stick them in the back of an ambulance, close both doors.
Yeah, but is the ambulance by the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the arena.
Jig says ambulance match is coming to WWE 2K24.
Yeah, it is.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's right on that.
But for me, right, so ambulance match, I would always put this in the bin. Put it in the shite tier. For me, there hasn't been enough of them, and I can't say there's a good one. There's several brilliant 3 Stages of Hell matches. Like I said, they're proper slogs, but considering we only have one coming to mind, Roman Reigns and
Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. That like I said, that I don't know. Maybe that's because it was during the mid-tier era. Like meh.
Yeah,
like the meh era.
I was going to say, if you're putting this in meh for the tier, I will fight you to death.
I'm not putting this match in the meh tier. It's just like that. I think that match would have done better in some sort of other era, maybe today's era. It would have done better.
But yeah, for now, we can't really think of a good one. I think I want to put this in shite.
I'd probably put it below average, maybe not shite, because the Cena and Kane one was all right. I'd say that one was all right. I'd probably put that in below average.
I'll agree with you on this, but that means I'm going to get a bit of an advantage in one later. Deal?
All right, then I'll give you a deal on that one. All right, we'll put it in the below average. I wouldn't put it in shite. Maybe that's a bit unfair with the whole, there only being one memorable one, really. There might have been one in the Attitude Era. I'm not too sure, but
no, the only one that ever springs to mind for me is the Kane one.
Cena and Kane.
Yeah, go on. What's the next one?
Beat the Clock.
I love a Beat the Clock. I know, right? But listen, I love a Beat the Clock, and I'll tell you what, I love a show-long tournament. Okay, where every match matters. Throughout the entire show, and this is one of the opportunities they get to do that. A Beat the Clock challenge. I remember when we were planning all this, one of my favorite match types that we're going to discuss later.
I'm just gonna stop you. Jake said Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman was the last one I saw. Reigns versus Strowman was a good ambulance match. It was a good ambulance match, but I think it was stuck in the wrong era, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to be honest. I stopped watching WWE for a bit because of how, I guess, average it went. And that's why, I guess, Cena and Kane only springs to mind, because I think it was in late 2000s concept, the ambulance match. Beat the Clock matches are pretty good. Yeah, Beat the Clock matches are pretty good, I will say.
I love a Beat the Clock match, just because there's a hell of a lot at stake. It normally leads to either a title or a title shot, first of all, so there's always a high stake for it.
Yeah.
As well. I love a Beat the Clock.
I'd probably put this in my opinion. I'm not going to hate to say it, because obviously, I think I'm going to put it in great, because I can't remember a bad Beat the Clock challenge.
No.
To be fair.
And like I said, it's nice having a show that matters from start to finish. You have one of these running for an entire TV show.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
An entire episode, and them episodes are just great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I could recall one. I think back in like 2006. I think
I'm a bit later than that, but
more in 2008, but 2006 maybe as well. I think on SmackDown, I believe, for Batista's work. Was it Rey Mysterio's, or it might have been Batista's? I'm not too sure, but it was one of them.
Yeah. So I want to put Beat the Clock in great. There's nowhere else to put it.
Right. Okay. This is where me and Solis are going to disagree, and I know it is. Before I even mention it. Okay, guys. And I don't know if Jigs will probably disagree as well. Okay. I'll admit, people are probably going to disagree with me on this. A Texas bull rope match / strap match. Okay.
Oh, throw that in the fucking bin.
Now,
God.
I'm going to be honest, before we obviously throw it in the bin, I looked at all the matches, like, before obviously I did this. I looked at all the matches there has been of, in WWE history of strap matches and bull rope. And one or two do spring to mind since since I've boosted my memory a bit on it. Batista versus JBL and Eddie Guerrero versus JBL.
I was going to say Guerrero and JBL springs to mind, and Rock and Triple H pops to mind for it as well. Now, the issue for me with a strap match, the finish for it, there's not that many different finishes you can do, because the traditional way of winning a strap match is to touch all four corners of the ring. And there's no real way of having like some kind of jeopardy-laden strap match, All you can do really is have one guy touch the corner, next guy touch it on the slide.
Oh, shit,
have them all touch free.
Shit, yeah. Jigs has just said one. But that didn't spring to mind. I forgot about that one. Austin versus Vega.
I don't know that one personally. I don't know that one personally.
I can't recall what event, but I'm pretty sure it was in your house, I believe, an in your house event. But that one was good.
But overall, I can't actually think of a strap match that I have fully enjoyed and thought it should be a thing. Did you know, a fun fact, right?
Yeah.
Back in, I think it was about 2002, they had Triple H have a match with every single person who had a special gimmick match. I think it was on, a Raw or a SmackDown. It was kind of a big shocking one, really.
Yeah.
Like he had Kane in an Inferno match. Spoilers for that one later. But, so they were going to make The Rock's gimmick match a Brahma bull rope match.
Yeah. I remember that.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Because there is no, in my opinion, this is shite. Like, I would put this in shite every time without thinking.
I mean, Jigs is right that the bull rope and strap match is slightly different, but I basically did bull rope and strap match as in the same category because they're both strapped to each other. Yeah, you don't have to touch all four corners in the strap match like you do in the bull rope, but I put them basically in the same sort of category because
they're both tied.
They're both tied together. But the thing that entertains me about a strap match, not a strap match, a bull rope match, I'm not going to lie. The thing that entertains me about that is the fact that obviously you can use the fucking cowbell as well. That is the thing that entertains me about it.
The one good thing you can do with these kinds of matches is that you can make it a real gory affair. That's where you actually get your coverage for them matches.
I mean,
I would still say you could do a hell of a lot better than a strap match.
Well, yeah.
Even for something gory.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it in shite, in my opinion. Obviously, you would. You'd put it in the bin. But
I never want to see a strap match again. So yeah.
I think the last strap match, if we're going to make them differ, the last strap match that I can recall, strap match-wise, is the Samoan strap match between CM Punk and Umaga. That's the last one I can recall. Not too sure if it's the last ever one, but...
You see, I can't even recall that because it's such a shit match type.
But the one, obviously another bull rope match that comes to mind is Dusty versus Randy. I can't remember what event. I think it was SummerSlam, I think. Or it was Backlash, one of the two. Can't quite remember. Well, bear with me, Sos.
Yeah.
Open your window.
No one ever agree with strap match. It is bloody awful.
There you go. Right. But yeah, that Dusty versus Randy one. That one was actually good. I'm going to say that one was good.
It's still not enough to bring it above shite for me.
I'd say it was below average if we're gonna be fair.
All right. I'm going to defend one of my favourites later.
Yeah. I'd put it in below average because I wouldn't say it's shitty. I wouldn't say it's shite. Katie?
Katie's in the chat, yes. Just come in to say hi while she's at work.
Yeah. Bull rope matches can be brutal if you look at some classic 80s matches. They are good. Exactly, that's what I mean. They are good in classic 80s as well. Most of them, obviously, you know who would be in it. I'm not going to lie.
I'll give you below average.
Yeah.
Just because it seems chat is siding with you on this one as well.
Yeah, we'll go with below average on that. Right, this one, I hope that me and you both agree on. I'm hoping that me and you both agree on this one. And I'm hoping that chat agrees with me, because I do actually like this match type. Buried alive. Right.
Don't like. I would say it is below average or meh.
Below average or meh?
My reasoning, right?
Yeah.
I don't like a match where the finish isn't in the middle of the ring.
Well, yeah.
So, because let's be honest, the pop when it's not in the middle of the ring. I like the ending. Did you say a Buried Alive match? I like the ending to a Buried Alive match. Especially when you get really over the top stuff, like when Kane had the digger.
Yeah.
And poured the load in. It's comical the amount of soil it actually takes to go on top of a person to win one of these matches.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I would go meh with that just because I can't think of a bad one. Normally, what happens with this is that the Undertaker just needs a bit of break to have surgery or something, so they bury him alive for a while.
That I will agree with you, because there is one thing. There is one that comes to mind that pops into my head, and it's shown on the picture. I don't know if anybody can see the picture, obviously, because it is quite small. Undertaker.
Is that McMahon?
Yeah, Undertaker versus McMahon. That is one where that was before WrestleMania 20, where obviously he came back as the dead man, didn't he, after the American Badass?
Yeah, they actually buried him alive.
Yeah, they buried him alive, and then he came back as the dead man because Kane helped bury him.
Yeah.
That is one that sticks in my head. That's one that sticks in my mind only because of the ending, and obviously, you know, the whole teaser with the whole dead man and, you know, everything else that led to WrestleMania 20 match.
Okay, I like I said, you're still not convincing me from meh. I've gone from horrible to meh.
Right, I'm going to go with on this, and the reason I'm going with this is probably because of that match. If it weren't for that match, I probably would have stuck it below average. But if it weren't for the McMahon and Taker match, I probably would have stuck it below average.
Yeah. Because, what are you going to do then? You're going to throw it in meh?
Yeah, I'm going to throw it in meh because obviously, I'm not going to lie, the worst one I can recall is the Taker, or not the Taker, Big Show and Mankind.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst one I can recall.
Okay.
Right.
I agree with you on this. We'll go with meh. First one we've actually agreed on from the start.
Actually, it's not. We've actually agreed on more than I thought, to be fair. I mean, I thought we'd disagree on the 3 stages of hell, personally. I thought we'd disagree on that, but apparently not. Right, so, casket match.
Okay, so I don't like a casket match.
You don't?
The variety of finishes you can get are very, very limited because it's just putting someone in a box, basically.
Yeah.
The main one that comes to mind for me is WrestleMania 22, Undertaker and Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Didn't think much of the match.
Yeah.
Don't like the finish. Again, the finish isn't in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
First of all, which always knocks it down a bit for me.
Right.
I would accept the meh for this.
Right.
But realistically, I want below average myself. But yeah, I'm struggling to think of a good casket match.
Right. I have a few casket matches that I think were absolutely brilliant. And the reason I think that is because of the rivalries that were behind them as well. Like The Undertaker and Heidenreich. That one was good because of the rivalry behind it.
My mind has blanked out Heidenreich.
The Undertaker and Heidenreich. He was managed by Paul Heyman.
Heidenreich
was after Lesnar.
I remember him.
I believe The Undertaker and Mark Henry. At 20, was that at 22? I believe.
Yeah, WrestleMania 22 that was.
That one was a bit meh.
I
think Undertaker and Yokozuna had one.
That sounds like something that could happen.
I believe so. I think they had one as well. They're the ones that stick to my mind. not too sure about anybody else. Whether chat has any more to add, I don't know. But I'd probably stick it in the mess section as well, because the only one I can recall that's any good was probably The Undertaker and Heidenreich.
Yeah.
Because of that story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Henry and Undertaker didn't really have any story behind it as such.
No, it's it's WrestleMania, so go and work Undertaker up.
Right, this one's going to be a funny one, and we're probably going to disagree on this one. I'll be surprised if we don't. Championship Scramble.
I adore a championship scramble match. Oh wow, Brian Kendrick, the unsung hero of a championship scramble match. He was champion for about 6 minutes, right?
Yeah.
A championship scramble. First of all, we don't see many of them, which is something I always like to see. There's plenty of matches that I'll be talking about later that I don't like to see as much as we get it, basically.
Right.
Championship Scramble, there's 3 that come to mind.
Yeah.
The most recent one, like I said, been around about 2010, 2011. Brian Kendrick was in it. He was champion for 6 minutes.
Right.
There's a hell of a lot of action in the Championship Scramble match. Yeah. It's an easy match. Something that I dislike that's going to come up in matches later. I don't like it when a match is hard to explain.
Okay.
Who wins and how it's won, okay?
Yeah.
So, Championship Scramble, the person who gets the latest pin wins.
Yeah. Or the latest fall.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I love a scramble match. And there's a fun fact that I do think when they changed from WWF to WWE back in 2002, 2003, whenever it was.
I think it was 2.
2002.
Yeah.
They actually had a Championship Scramble match the same day. The first show back when they became WWE. Yeah. The reason being is that it gave them lots of opportunity to be able to say WWE rather than WWF. So WWE champion is now Kane, let's say.
Yeah.
Just a variety of falls throughout a match.
Yeah.
And an ECW one comes to mind that I adore as well, where everyone just piled on someone at the end to try and get the final pin. I think you can remember that one, right?
Yeah, I can remember that one where Matt Hardy won the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would throw this in great. I love it because we haven't seen that many of them.
No, we haven't. Well, actually, there's a lot more than you may think, to be fair.
Yeah. But we don't. When was the last time you can recall seeing one? I can't recall anything after 2011-ish.
I think the last one I saw, which, bear with me, guys, I'm not a big fan of the Championship Scrambles. I'm not. But I think the last one I saw was like 2010.
Yeah, I'm about that. And that's probably the one with Kendrick that I'm on about.
Yeah, I believe that was the last one I saw.
So I would throw this straight into great if it was me. I love a scramble match.
I'd probably throw it in. This is me, okay? This is me. I'd probably throw it in meh. I'm not going to
Well, this is where I'm throwing my authority one down because I let you off earlier.
All right. We'll throw it in great. I think I'd still... That's me. I'd throw it in there because there's just too much chaos to even endure the match, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Nobody else is obviously. Celis likes it. So, yeah, all right.
I fucking love a scramble match. Get it in there.
This one is going to be interesting as well. This one is going to be interesting because of... It's going to be just like the Hellinacell. Elimination Chamber.
Oh, GOAT.
GOAT?
Absolute GOAT. Oh, yes.
Okay, fair dues, we agree. I'm not going to lie, fair dues, we agree.
There's been a few bad chamber matches. The tag team one springs to mind.
Oh, yeah,
the one that Ryback won springs to mind.
Yeah, the Intercontinental Championship.
And December to Dismember 2006.
That one wasn't that bad, I don't think.
The hardcore one, it was horrific.
That was great.
It was crap.
I'm not going to lie, right? I'm not going to lie. We disagree on this one, right? We disagree on this one. But I'm not going to lie. That is one of my most memorable chambers because it was something different. It was a breath of fresh air. Yeah, the match itself was meh, but it's a breath of fresh air to add another stipulation into the chamber. Rather than just wrestle, fucking brutalize each other. You could just
I don't get it though. I mean, the idea of the chamber is to look menacing and inflict pain. So why would you need a steel chair and a table in there?
Addition, isn't it? Technically they needed a track. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. By the time 2006, was happening, they'd had about what? How many chamber matches? The first one ever was Survivor Series 2002.
Yeah.
The first one was ever Survivor Series 2002. And they'd had about, I think it was about 3 or 4 before the Extreme one.
Mm.
And yeah, the Extreme one was meh. I mean, you had the likes of fucking Sandman. Was it Sandman in there?
Yeah.
Sabu was meant to be in there at one point. Rob Van Dam, Big Show.
Was it Ezekiel Jackson that won that one?
No, it was a CM. Was it CM? No, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was the last minute entrant because Sabu had got injured, I believe, by Hardcore Holly, I think. So
standard stiff Holly.
Yeah. So basically, the reason that springs to mind because it was a breath of fresh air to the Elimination Chamber.
This is one of the very few times that I am happy to see this in a set time every year because you are on the road to WrestleMania at this point. This is something I really, really like. This is the one of the very few times I like something set in a calendar.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my favourite Elimination Chamber was actually, I believe it's the third one. Cena, Kane, Carlito, Shawn Michaels, Masters.
New Year's Revolution 2006.
Yeah.
Where Edge cashed his money in a banking.
Yeah. Now that is a good chamber. That is a great chamber.
Okay, that one we can agree on. That one was, I will say, I was absolutely shocked at the ending, but I think that one was probably the best chamber ever, I believe. I think that one was probably the best chamber ever.
2006, me being 13 at the time.
Yeah.
I was a John Cena fan at that age.
Same.
You know, it's only once I got to my late teens that I really disliked. Well, when Cena, I got bored of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would personally, that is probably the best chamber 06. I love that one.
That was probably the best chamber ever. When
they keep building up Kane, saying that he's guaranteed the final position. You know, the last one out of the chamber.
Yeah.
And then it was Carlito and Masters that like double pinned him, if I remember right, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I love that match, and the fact that there were so many stories told. Edge's cashing made it even better again. So this is why Chamber's got to be the best. I also love one of the botches, Mark Henry's cell falling through when it wasn't to.
I mean, I will say the one thing that does, I guess you could say, spring to mind with the whole chamber was that it was obviously the people that specialise in it.
Kofi's a good one.
Well, Kofi doesn't specialise in it. He's a good one though. He is a good one in the chamber. But we'll get to him. We'll get to him in another match type because he's a speciality in another match type. I'm not gonna lie. That we have on the list. One person that springs to mind with the whole speciality sort of elimination chamber is probably Triple H.
Okay.
He is probably one.
Winning one. I remember him beating Goldberg at the end of it. The second one.
He's won, I believe, if I did obviously I looked into the elimination chamber before doing all this, you know. I believe Triple H has won 2003, 2005, 2000. Again, don't quote me. I think it was 2008 as well.
How many do you reckon he's won?
I'd say he won about 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah. So that's a good record. Cena's probably up there as well.
Cena's up there. Probably, I'd probably name Thingy in there as well, if I were to throw like names that specialise in it. I'd probably throw. Actually, I hate to say it, I'd probably throw Batista up there too. Maybe Edge as well.
Yeah,
Edge is another one.
But without us keeping rambling on, we're agreeing this is GOAT.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Awesome.
So, on to the next one. Obviously,
go on.
Extreme Rules.
There isn't still a pay-per-view for this one, is there?
No, don't think so. Not seen one since last year, so I wouldn't say so. But again, they might add it, so I'm not too sure because they did that in 2016 with No Mercy and everything else. So I don't know.
Yeah, if it's a pay-per-view thing, this is one where I do have a problem again. But yeah, Extreme Rules, love to see it. Generally, the finish is still in the middle of the ring, which is a big thing for me. The pop is huge when it's in the ring. If something happens on stage, the pop is never as good.
Yeah.
Extreme Rules, I'd be saying great. I can't think of any great, like, awesome ones that spring to mind off the top of my head. This is probably where you'd be able to step in for me.
See, I have a few that pop in my head.
Go on.
And that is probably the one where it was Roman Reigns. I think it was Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. I'm not too sure if it was Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, where Seth ended up pedigree. I think it was Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles, actually. Seth ended up pedigreeing Roman Reigns at the end of it. Ended up like, that springs to mind. Another one that springs to mind probably would be John Cena versus Lesnar.
Right.
That one probably springs to mind.
I can remember that one.
You can remember that one.
Yeah. Is that the one where like it ended on the steel steps, basically?
Yeah. That one comes to mind because of Lesnar's return. The whole build up to the rivalry. Hello,
Sleeper. Welcome in.
That one probably does spring to my mind because of that. The John Cena versus the Brock Lesnar. That one probably is the most memorable.
Yeah, I like that one. So I think this is a great stipulation.
Yeah, probably great. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't say it's meh. I mean, there is some shit Extreme Rules matches, but there's some shit Hellinacell matches, some shit,
There's a few things that I like. I like weapons in a match.
Yeah.
I do like weapons in a match.
Yeah, I'd probably put Extreme Rules up there with the great.
Yeah.
Right.
Same here.
So, I believe this next one is a bit. Next one is a bit tricky for me to rate. I'm not going to lie. Falls Count Anywhere.
Now
the reason why it's a bit tricky for me to rate is because there has been. Don't get me wrong. There's been some good matches of Falls Count Anywhere, but there has been some absolutely fucking terrible matches of Falls Count Anywhere. A bit like, I guess. One that comes to mind that was absolutely horrendous, even though it ended good, but it was horrendous to me, was the Great Khali versus John Cena One Night Stand.
Yeah. That involved the Great Khali was
anything.
terrible.
I mean, I don't know if you were here. I know Jigs was here for a while. I did a tier list rating on wrestlers. And Great Khali, I believe, was on there, and I rated him absolutely shite.
Yeah, because, you know what, right? He is, because he was. I mean, he couldn't move, which I think he did have gigantism, probably. So it's not really fair to judge him on that, but he couldn't move, and they threw a belt on him. God knows why.
That was a mistake. I'm sorry, that fucking was a mistake when they did that. But anyways, on to the topic. We like I said, there has been a few horrendous ones. Like I said, the Great Khali versus John Cena springs to mind. Even though John Cena, don't get me wrong, is a great wrestler, I'd still say that match was terrible.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I would actually say this is a middle of the road thing.
Yeah, probably.
It's basically a singles match with pins anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Again, I don't like a match where it doesn't finish inside the ring.
Yeah.
Really don't like them. But it is a good match type at the end of the day, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Why would you implement a Falls Count Anywhere match? Because someone keeps running away, attacking and running away, probably. Interrupting matches, interfering. Is a good time, I think, of using it. So, I would say I'd put this in the middle of the road, mate.
Yeah. Same, I'm not going to lie, same there. I mean, I think I have added... Yeah, I thought I hadn't added Iron Man match, but I have. Right.
I think I know which one you haven't added, but we'll see if it's there at the end. No, we'll see if it's there at the end.
Hardcore. Now, this one, for me, is a GOAT.
Okay, I can think of a really good hardcore match.
The reason why I say it's a GOAT, I'm not going to lie, you had a title for it, obviously, in the Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Era. And in every match, it was chaos, but it was exciting chaos rather than... with, like I said, with the, was it Championship Scramble? Rather than with the Championship Scramble, that was chaos. But the hardcore wasn't exactly chaos like that.
Big shout out to Crash Holly for these matches, by the way.
Yeah, big shout out to Crash Holly. Bradshaw was another one. Big Show actually was another one that competed in a lot of them. But there's about 2 or 3 hardcore matches that I can recall. One happened at, I believe, I can't quite remember if it was Backlash or Judgment Day 2001 between Rhino and Raven.
Okay.
That was one for the hardcore title. Another one that springs to mind is the WrestleMania 17 one.
You're going to say Big Show, Raven, and Kane?
Yep.
That's the one that instantly popped in my head.
That one sprung to mind. And also the one that's on the picture, I don't know if you can see it, but the one that's on the picture, WrestleMania 22.
Oh, Edge. Oh, no, yeah, Edge and Mankind.
And Mick Foley.
Yeah.
That one springs to my mind. That one especially because of the way it ended and everything. It was just utter chaos all around.
Yeah.
And it was fucking great. It happened at Mania,
That was the one where he got speared through a table on fire, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
love
saying.
That match.
I personally would rate hardcore matches in GOAT because...
I'll give it you just because I love the Kane, Big Show and Raven one so much. I mean, the finish, I love it when you just see Kane do the leg drop off the stage. God knows how far down he went.
I think it was about... I think JR said it was about 6 foot or something.
No, it's more than that, trust me.
Or something. I don't know, but anyways. Right. This one we're probably going to disagree on. Maybe. Empty arena match. Now, there's only been 2.
There's 3 actually.
3?
Yeah, there was one. Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler, 1981.
Was that in WWE though?
An iteration of WWE. It's before it was WWE.
Yeah,
but,
obviously,
it was the same brand.
Well, yeah, same company. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the 2 that spring to my mind, obviously, Mankind versus The Rock.
Yep.
And Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
What about all of 2020?
We're not classing that. We're not classing the fucking pandemic era, man. Fuck me, you'll be here forever.
That was an empty arena, wasn't
You'll be here forever.
Empty arena match, 8 of them in one night.
You'll be here forever, man. Rating all those matches. Anyways, right.
I like the idea of it, The idea where you've got to keep the fans safe because you can't get these 2 lads apart. You don't know where they're going to end up. That's sort of my idea of why they do it.
Right.
It's got to be a big feud. Again, I like it. We've not seen many of them. The end of the match is going to be in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
That's all. Biggest thing for me. Yeah. Yeah. I would throw this in either meh or great.
Right. Well, considering there's not... To me, this is my opinion, you have to have an audience for the pop.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
Because if you don't have the audience for the pop, I'm not going to lie, it's not as exciting or thrilling, if you get me. I guess the audience helped, because obviously when I watched it during the pandemic era, yeah, it wasn't as... I guess WrestleMania 36 that year, it wasn't as... I guess it didn't have that magic to it.
Yeah.
Like obviously when John Cena won the world title for the first time against JBL, you had that magic behind it. You had, I guess because of that, I'm going to have to throw it in the meh. Only because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I like White's there though as well.
Yeah. Right. This next match type, we're going to disagree on. This is the one we were trying to do before I fucked everything up on stream.
Oh,
Hellinacell.
Meh at best.
Meh at best.
So, my argument. Think of it back in 1997 when this debuted. It was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. We came with the run-in, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic match. Great debut of a match. You've had great ones like Mankind and Undertaker is one that everyone always mentions.
Yeah.
When Mankind just about died.
Yeah.
What other ones? Like the WrestleMania 28 one. Triple H and Undertaker, great match. Shane McMahon. I like the Shane McMahon one against Undertaker. That was fun. WrestleMania, what was that? About 31?
32.
32?
Yep.
Okay, I like that one as well. But there have been some bad ones. Again, it's tied to a calendar month every time, October. It's October, so right, you guys don't need this for your rivalry, but we'll put you, and you in because it's October. Go in there, go and have some fun. Yeah, I hate that outlook on it. You know, it should be the feud itself dictates the match type.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't anymore. I mean, I didn't like the Bray Wyatt one either, where it was a red Hell in a Cell. It doesn't need to be red.
Yeah.
We're at the point now as well where they've done everything you can do with a Hell in a Cell. You've had people fall through it. You've had people fall off it. All the pop and spark is gone because they've done so many of them unnecessarily. And for that reason, I want to throw it in meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jigs. I've missed loads of your comments here. Fucking hell, sorry, Jigs. It doesn't come up on my phone.
But yeah, so I want meh.
You want meh for Hell in a Cell?
Yes.
Hey, Sleeper, how are you doing, my friend? Sorry about this. Hell in a Cell. Now, the reason I'm gonna disagree with you, obviously, due to the fact, the reason I'm gonna disagree with you, right? Hell in a Cell. Now, there is two people, in my opinion, only two people in the history of WWE that specialise in this match. I posted a TikTok video of matches on there. Of Hell in a Cell matches. And the two people that spring to mind when you say Hell in a Cell is Triple H and The Undertaker.
I was going to say Taker, yeah.
Triple H, he's had some fantastic Hell in a Cell matches. You know, a couple that spring to my mind as far as Triple H goes. Triple H, Batista, 2005. Back, I think it was Unforgiven. I think that one comes to mind because it was a great match ending. You know, chaos ensued. Good match. Another one, Triple H versus Chris Jericho.
Okay.
In the Hell in a Cell. Undertaker,
Randy Orton's had a few of them, hasn't he?
Yeah, Randy Orton had one against Taker.
That was a good one. Yeah. I remember that. Like I said, a lot of my wrestling knowledge is somewhat archived. I know more about a lot of the older stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it started off great, Hell in a Cell. But we're at a point now where I actually think they've been bad for longer than they've been good because we've seen that many.
Yeah.
And that is why I want meh. I can think of great moments. I can think of crap ones. It's overused now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that about Elimination Chamber, though, to be fair. I'm not going to lie, you could.
I know, but the reason we have the Elimination Chamber, it's the build-up to Mania.
Well, yeah, it's
realistically, for me, the Mania run starts in January with the Rumble and runs all the way to Mania main event in April.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, it makes sense to have the Elimination Chamber. It's part of that road.
Yeah. I mean...
Hell in a Cell, no.
The reason I say Hell in a Cell should go up with great, the reason I say this, now, like I said, we're going to disagree on this one. We're going to disagree on this one anyway. It's because not only, don't get me wrong, the present Hell in a Cell matches, some of them, you don't even want to watch. But it's the past Hell in a Cell matches as well. You know, like I said, Taker versus Shawn Michaels. First ever one, great match. You know, the Taker and Bossman one at WrestleMania 15, don't even fucking watch it. You know, there's the 6-man Hell in a Cell.
I love an Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
That one was great.
Yeah, an Armageddon one.
You know, there was a lot more great Hell in a Cell matches in my book than there was bad. Which there were.
Like I said, my argument for it is that it's overused.
Oh yeah, it's overused. Maybe it is overused.
I will accept a great as long as I get something in return later.
Like I said, the only reason I say it's great because of the history of it as well. It's not because, don't get me wrong, it's the present, maybe the present superstar, but in all fairness to the Cell itself, you've got to have a good chemistry. I mean, if you look at the Rhodes and Rollins match, that was good in the Cell.
He's all bruised up and busted up, Cody.
Yeah. That was a good Hell in a Cell match.
Go on, I'll give it you. Put it in great. Come on.
I'm just saying. They've got to have good chemistry as well. If they don't have good chemistry, the cell match don't work. And it don't.
Go on, throw it in. I'll let you off.
This one, again, hopefully we agree, because I love these matches. I absolutely do.
Go on.
I quit.
Right. I can only. There's only. No, was that even an I quit match?
What?
I like the I quit match. The fact that there is a stake.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, a really big stake.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in saying that it is also Extreme Rules? Basically, you can do whatever the fuck you want to each other.
Basically, yeah. It's basically like an Extreme Rules, but different stipulation, obviously.
Yeah. So for that reason, I do like it. I would say I like it.
Now, if you say every time somebody tells me, mentions an I quit match, there's only one person that I can think of that specialises in it. Only one person. And that is John Cena.
I can remember a John Cena one.
Go on.
The one in the thumbnail that you've got there, actually. Is that against Alex?
Cena and Miz?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I wanted a different one than that.
To be honest, there's one other thing that I do. This kind of crosses over it, right? Crosses over the boundary of what a match type should be. I recall a stake being, it was Kane versus Umaga, something like 2005, 2006, right?
Right.
And Kane lost.
Yeah.
And it was that if Kane lost, he had to leave WWE.
Raw.
Well, it was something along those lines.
Leaves WWE.
Yeah. So I do not understand how that is different from an I Quit match.
Well, it's different because obviously when you're in an I Quit match, obviously when the loser has to say I quit, by any means necessary. And like I said, there's a few that spring to my mind, and most of them that spring to my mind always have John Cena in them.
Yeah.
Always. Like, I can name one or two right now off the top of my head. This is the most memorable one. John Cena versus JBL.
Okay.
Yeah, John Cena versus JBL, Judgment Day 2005.
Right.
What?
Okay.
No. It's where basically I remember that vividly, and literally he then, if you see the ending of it, it's I guess poetic justice, I guess.
Yeah.
And another one that springs to my mind that I hate to say it is in the PG era, guys, because obviously the PG era wasn't that great. Randy Orton versus John Cena, Breaking Point 2009. Another one. That one is a great one. Because even though it was PG era, you knew where that Randy Orton had caned him because you saw the marks on him. It was one of those things, even though it was in the PG era. You know, like I said, I mean, if we don't agree that it's GOAT, yeah, then it's got to be in great for me because
I'll give it great. I do like these.
You know, the I Quit match. It's just I don't know. It's great for me. It's either GOAT or great. I mean, like I said,
I will accept great.
Yeah. I mean, the John Cena versus Batista one, that sucked. But
yeah.
Anyways,
you're gonna get some matches of every type that suck. I mean, one of my favourites that's coming up later. There's a few of them that sucked. Yeah. But anyway, the next one looks like an Inferno match. Am I right?
Yep. Inferno.
So my opinion of an Inferno match.
Yeah.
I want to throw this in shite.
Do you?
It looks good. I like the fire all around the ring. I'm a simple man. Fire's exciting.
Yeah.
But first of all, the movement's very limited inside the ring.
Yes.
So yeah, you don't really get people bouncing off the ropes and stuff like that, which is I do like a bit of that in a wrestling match.
Right.
Secondly, the finish is always you can't have that many differences to different ways of finishing an Inferno match. Someone catches fire. That is about it. It's normally a pathetic fire on someone's glove or their arm or something.
Yeah.
And generally just penalised by wearing more clothes for this match. It genuinely is, though. That's the way you lose it, by wording more clothes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the way you do lose. I've got to agree with you. I mean, there is one that springs to my mind, and it does. Kane versus MVP.
Right.
Armageddon, I think 2006, I believe. Not too sure if it's 2006. I'm pretty sure it is, though. He ended up setting him on fire via his arm.
Yeah. It's the same way that. I think that's the same way that Kane lost his first one. I think that was the Taker. Was it Taker or Austin?
I think it was, yeah. And I can't recall seeing a very good Inferno match.
No, the one that I think of is, like I said, that first one. And another one being the when I was on about that episode of SmackDown or Raw where Triple H went through everyone's specialist match type.
Oh yeah.
He had an Inferno match with Kane on that show, and I remember that one.
Yeah.
But they're not memorable matches. They're not good matches.
I mean, one that springs to my mind now that I'm thinking about it. The most recent one, anyway, that I can recall is Bray Wyatt versus Kane.
Yep.
That one again. I think that was SummerSlam 2013. I think.
Who was wearing the most clothes in that match?
Bray Wyatt.
Did Bray lose?
No.
Oh.
That's the thing. That's probably. I mean, that's probably the most. I mean, the most iconic one is obviously, you know who the fucking most iconic one. Everyone knows who the most iconic Inferno match is. Taker and Kane. It has to be. Yeah. But as far as this match goes, the Inferno itself, I'd probably put it in shite because I don't even think I've seen a good Inferno match.
Yeah, it's so limited because what you can do is limited. The finish is never different.
I'd probably not put that in there either.
Yeah. I'd be throwing that into shite.
Yeah. I'd say I just can't recall a good Inferno match. As much as I'm thinking about it now, I probably can't. I guess this is another match type where the opponents have to have good chemistry. Because if they don't, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot defend an Inferno match in any way, shape, or form. Put it shite.
Right, there we go. Right, this one is interesting because there has been loads of good ones, chat. There has been loads of good these type match types. Iron Man matches.
Best. Goat. All the way.
Now, why would you want to put it in goat?
First one, which was it HBK and Brett? Remember right, the first ever one?
I'm not too sure if that was the first ever one, but it probably was.
The one where they bring out this completely new gimmick.
Yeah.
Where the most falls wins. And there were no falls. That is ballsy. But I can think of that one as a great match. A little bit long in the tooth, a great match.
Yeah.
In the last few years, we had Sasha versus Bayley in an Iron Woman match, 30 minutes. Yeah. Fantastic match. The best one overall was actually on an episode of SmackDown, in my opinion, which was Lesnar and Angle.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest. Here. That was probably my most memorable one.
Yeah.
The Angle and Lesnar one, because they had, I mean, honestly, back in the Ruthless Aggression era, probably the most chemistry with Lesnar probably was Angle.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know why, but Taker wrestled him, inside Hell in a Cell and everything else. I guess that's another, actually, going back to Hell in a Cell, that's probably another good one, is Taker and Lesnar. We forgot about that one. They wrestled twice in that. Anyways, Iron Man, go, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I can't recall a bad Iron Man match, in my opinion. I
can only think of good ones, and we don't see it too often.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
No, we don't see it often, which is another thing I like about it.
Right. This one again. This one is going to be a bit of a... I guess a bit of a tipsy-turvy for me. Ladder match.
Goat.
Why?
Can't think of a bad one. First of all, there've been a hell of a lot of great ladder matches. Razor and HBK revolutionized this kind of match.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
That's what I mean. HBK revolutionized it.
What other good ladder matches are there? I always like it when they throw a third man in on a ladder match.
Yeah.
We'll get to Money in the Bank later, which I love as well. Spoiler alert. But yeah, ladder match is one of the staples in wrestling.
Yeah.
We don't see it too much, excluding the Money in the Bank, which again we'll come up to later. So it has that going for it. I like a tag team ladder match as well. Big fan of them. So there's so many, and also there's so many different endings you can do. At the end of the day, you're pulling down a belt from a ladder, right?
Yeah.
Or a briefcase, effectively.
Yeah.
But there are so many different ways that you can do it. There's a lot of action because you can use the ladder as a weapon. If you get some really flippy person, Jeff Hardy springs to mind. Great in a ladder match. I can't think of a bad ladder match, and I love ladder matches, so I want GOAT for this.
Now, I can think of a bad ladder match. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know whether it was a ladder match. I don't know whether it was a TLC match or whether it was, it wasn't a tables. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Mark Henry, Big Show. That match, in my book, I don't know whether it was their chemistry. I don't know whether it was the match in general. It sucked.
The problem is you need active people in this match, not two people who are slower than a bag of bricks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can think of one bad one, but I mean, look at the top ones. We can think of some bad elimination chambers.
Oh yeah, we could probably think of.
But they don't come to mind, these bad matches, because there have been so many good ones.
I'd probably put it in. Yeah, I'd probably put it in great, maybe.
All right, go on.
Only because of that Big Show and Mark Henry match. Because I don't know, I guess that was a bad match. It's good that Vince McMahon made Daniel Bryan cash his Money in the Bank in when he did. Because it saved the match itself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to put it in great, because, yeah. Anyways, this is an interesting match type, this one. Lumberjack.
Meh for me.
Meh.
Yeah, so all it is a singles match with people on the outside, ensuring that people stay in the ring.
Right.
There's nothing special about a Lumberjack or Lumberjill match to me. I can think of a few. Well, I can remember a few. Can't remember the wrestlers in them, but I've never been overwhelmed by it. You're never going to see a Lumberjack match be the top of a card at a pay-per-view. You're just not.
Well, no, I'll agree with you. I'll probably agree with you that it belongs in meh. I mean, as far as Lumberjack, Lumberjill matches go, I can't recall one that was fantastic. I mean, I can recall a few good ones, but I can't recall one that was fantastic, fantastically amazing, where, like, for example, the Hellinacell or the 3 Stages of Hell or the GOAT, the Elimination Chamber. I can't recall any fantastic memories of Lumberjacks.
No, it's a singles match where...
Yeah, it's just a singles match with people around the ring. So, I'd probably put it in there as well. I mean, people are probably going to disagree with us. I mean, yeah.
I hope so. The more they disagree, the better.
I'd like them to comment in, the comment section if they disagree. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd like people's opinion. Right, this one, I think, if I'm correct, as it says there, I can't think if you can see that. A Last Man Standing.
I like a Last Man Standing.
I love it. Now,
I wouldn't say it's a GOAT match.
Now, the reason I'm going to put it in GOAT, or I'd like to put it in GOAT, I'm going to say this, is because about 2 or 3 spring to my mind. 2 or 3. That's the one that's shown there. Shane McMahon versus Kane. Shane McMahon versus Big Show in 2001. And that is the Backlash. And probably, I mean, this one is one of them is shit that springs to my mind actually now to think about it. John Cena and Batista, where he taped his fucking legs to the post. That one was bad.
I like a finish like that, you see. The one that I can think of as a great match is a John Cena one. It's John Cena and Edge at Backlash 09.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one where he got a chokeslam through the spotlight. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Actually, yeah. What do you reckon it belongs in GOAT?
I'd put it in great.
You put it in great?
Yeah. I'd put it in great because at the end of the day, it's not that technical of a match. What you've got to do is basically knock the fuck out of someone until they can't get up.
Another one that springs to my mind when we're talking about Last Man Standing. Triple H, Randy Orton, No Mercy, 2007. That one again. That one springs to my mind.
But yeah,
I'd probably put it in great. Yeah.
You're never going to see this headliner card really at Mania.
I don't know, not headline a card at Mania, no, but maybe headline another pay-per-view, yeah. Right, anyways, on to one that we were probably talking about earlier that Celis said, spoiler alert, Money in the Bank.
Go.
Now, the reason I'm going to put Money in the Bank in great is because I do think it didn't deserve its own pay-per-view. It was fine at Mania.
I disagree. I have had Money in the Bank ruined a couple of times for me once by its placement around Mania, okay?
Yeah.
I want the person to hold onto the briefcase for a long time. I love the moments where someone looks like they're going to run in and then they get knocked the hell out. Was it Damien Sandow who kept doing that?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the match, but I don't think they should have took it off Mania's card. That is my opinion, because it was fine at Mania. If you look at the first ones, right? Mania 21, great match. Right. Great fucking match. Mania 22, great fucking match. Great ending.
That was RVD, wasn't it?
Edge, you had Edge at 21. RVD at 22. Mr. Kennedy at 23. CM Punk at... No, Jack Swagger at 24, wasn't it? Oh, it's CM Punk.
Not sure.
CM Punk at 24, I think. And then CM Punk at 25.
Did Ambrose win one?
Yeah, but that was a pay-per-view. One of the pay-per-views.
Yeah, but what I mean is, though, it's a great match type.
But the reason I'm going to put it in great is because it has its own pay-per-view. I don't think it should have got its own pay-per-view. That's my opinion.
This is one thing where I'd have to differ from you. I say I don't like seeing matches regular and pay-per-views, apart from a few. This is one of the ones that I'm actually for. I am really for this one being a pay-per-view because it's an important aspect of the wrestling year, the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it having its own pay-per-view. And I want to put it in GOAT because I can't think of a bad one. 26 was meh. Is about the worst one I can think of. 26 wasn't great.
I can think of
also,
a few bad.
James Ellsworth winning the women's one. I didn't like that.
I can think of a few bad. I could think of a few bad. Maybe the one where Kane won.
I didn't mind that. I really didn't mind that.
I think that the reason I minded that is because I guess the way when they stuck the world title on Kane and the way they did it.
I don't know. But the match itself...
I'll put it in great, in my opinion.
I am fighting you for GOAT here.
You're fighting me for GOAT?
Yeah.
All right, should we leave that one for in a bit then?
No. Put it in GOAT and we'll move it down. We'll try later on. What I think we should do, once we finish tearing everything, we decide what the best match of all time is and the worst.
All right, then. Okay.
So,
right.
Okay. Put it in great for now because...
In great for now?
No, GOAT for now. GOAT for now.
Right. This one, I'm not going to lie. I've seen good matches of it. I've seen bad matches of it. Pole match.
No.
What
pole match / flag match, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of a good flag match, first of all. Flag matches are shite. That's why we don't see them often. Did Cena and Rusev have one?
Yeah.
Was that any good?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I can think of good pole matches. The thing is, right, I'm going to be honest with this pole match thing. Right, the pole matches, I mean, like I said, anyone can disagree with me, anyone can agree with me. Pole matches, I think, are meh because there's been so many good ones, but so many bad at the same time. I mean, one that springs to my mind that's good, Cena versus Rusev. That was a good story behind it, good action inside the ring. That one was good.
The story itself's good. I thought Cena and Rusev had a great story.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Feud.
Especially when Rusev beat John Cena.
Comes out in a fucking tank as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
love that.
they had good chemistry. That's what I mean about these match types. Sometimes you need good chemistry within the ring. If you do not have good chemistry in the ring, you're bound. I mean, like we said about the Falls Count Anywhere with Great Khali and John Cena, that sucked. Not good chemistry. But obviously, when you have some pole matches and some flag matches, some of them have good chemistry, others don't, and it's like meh.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Can we not meet in the middle and put it in below average because it's a fucking flag match at the end of the day?
All right, then we'll put it below average because of the flag match. Yeah, flag match.
Yeah.
But the pole match, contract on a pole match, I like, and the dice on the pole match I've liked as well. Because like I said, I looked into all these.
Wasn't there like a prosthetic leg on a pole once? Was that a one?
I think so. Yeah. Zach Gowen, I think. Yeah.
I think that was that one.
Anyways, now this one, if you disagree with me, I'm going to fight you for it. I am. Right. Punjabi Prison, right?
Oh, it's got to be the GOAT. I'm not joking, it's shite. There's 3 of them.
Right, I was about to say.
They've all been horrendous.
Actually,
what was the first one?
The first one wasn't that bad.
It fucking was.
The first one wasn't. Not the Great Khali, the Big Show versus Undertaker. Not that bad. But then when Batista and Great Khali went in it, it was sort of meh. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about now, Mahal and fucking Orton, right? Honestly, I was pumped up for the match because I've not seen a Punjabi Prison for a long time, you know. Obviously, you know, new thing. It's not been there for God knows, for 10 odd years. And then the ending of the match, and you know.
So too many rules in the match. You have to tell a referee that you want to leave. The referee will then hold the door open for 6. No.
You know, I'm going to put it.
Then there's an assortment of weapons out now. Fucking awful. Throw it in the bin.
Are we looking at shite?
Yeah. The only positive I can give the Punjabi Prison is that it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Undertaker versus Big Show wasn't that bad. But it's when, I guess, Batista and... I mean, Batista did well in that match, especially when he hopped from one...
Batista thrived in that thing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That one was good. Taker and Big Show was all right, but then when Jinder and Orton stepped inside it, it was just awful.
I loved how the Great Khali came in and held the belt up like it was his own. God love it. God love Great Khali.
Right. On to the next match. This one, if you disagree with me, tell me. Royal Rumble.
Go.
I
can think of bad Rumbles. I can think of amazing Rumbles.
I can think of bad Rumbles. I can think of great Rumbles.
Is it 2013 where Kane and Big Show ruined it?
Where Kane and Big Show ruined it? I think that was 14. I think.
I know Roman won that one, if I remember right.
14?
But...
No, that was 15 that Reigns won. 14 Daniel Bryan won, because that was when it was like, you know, the whole revolution of Daniel Bryan and all that lot. And then 2013 Cena won. I guess that's another reason why. I guess I'm thinking of putting Royal Rumble in GOAT because it's been around for so long, you know, and it's still exciting to this day.
It's the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's still exciting to this day.
As much as I fell out with wrestling over the years at times, I always go back to watch the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's never been... there has been bad Rumbles. I've watched a few of them. Like, for example, I can recall one.
95 was bad.
95?
Yeah, there was a load of no-namers. It was when WWE was on its ass with wrestlers at that point.
Oh, yeah.
95 was bad. All the ones through the noughties were really good.
Oh, yeah. I like the one where Batista and John Cena were fighting to the, you know... That one was good. When he broke... was it Mr. McMahon's... when Mr. McMahon broke his... I can't remember what he did to himself, but he injured himself while falling.
Oh, 2005. 5, yeah.
You are?
When they both hit the floor at the same time.
Yeah.
That was a great ending. I can't believe that was unscripted as well. That was just so perfect.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So
what else? In 2004, I know it's not remembered well because of who won it, but that was a great one.
Again, 2002. I mean, not 2002.
2001 was the best one ever. 2001 is
good.
I will fight you to the death
2001, obviously, when my favourite superstar ever won it. Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm going to disagree with you being the greatest Rumble ever. The reason being, there is better Rumbles, like the example, I can give you an example. 2006.
Was that Rey Mysterio's?
Yeah.
I didn't like that one. That was shit.
I liked that Rumble because, I mean...
Well, not shit, but it wasn't as good as most of them.
I mean, the reason I was disappointed by the winner a little bit, and yeah, it's a bad choice of words saying I was disappointed by the winner, but I think the reason he let Ray win that one...
Eddie.
Yeah. Maybe he shouldn't have let him win it, but...
It's, for me, that one... I'm going to say, even though I think 2004 is a great Rumble, and 1992 as well, I don't like it where the person who goes in first wins.
Yeah.
That is... I'm not going to say that wrestling isn't contrived, because obviously wrestling is contrived.
Yeah.
But having someone stay in a ring for an hour and not die, not get eliminated when they're going to be paggered, I hate seeing it, really.
Yeah. Or actually, to change my words, maybe Rey Mysterio should have won it, but they shouldn't have took the title off him the way they did.
Okay, but the actual match type itself,
yeah.
There's one I didn't like, which I think was 2011, just because 40 wrestlers was too many.
Yeah, that one was...
that was one that Del Rio won. Yeah, the one that Del Rio won.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, too many wrestlers in that, but the Royal Rumble... I love seeing it. It's the start of the road to WrestleMania, and I'd actually rather watch the Royal Rumble over WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I love all the little surprise returns. Hurricanes one.
Yeah.
I love it when he keeps going for double choke slams on people.
Right.
But the biggest pop as well, sorry, I know I'm still beating the same horse here.
It's fine.
Edge's return in 2020 as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's sure. Maybe he shouldn't have returned, I'm not going to lie, but...
No, I love that. Just that pop as soon as you hear it goes completely silent once it's there, and then you hear you think you know me.
Yeah. Right, so, all in all, Royal Rumble, go, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shark Cage. Now, this is one, I'm not going to lie, where I'm going to put it in probably shite.
Yep. 100%.
Because I looked at the history, like I said, I looked at the history of all these matches. And there has been one that I can't recall.
Go on.
Triple H being stuck in a shark cage.
I can't recall that either.
I can't recall that. I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to be honest. Considering I can't recall any shark cage matches like that in any of the Ruthless Aggression era or the Attitude era like that. You know, they weren't that memorable. You know, at the end of the day, I can't recall it. The only one I can recall, I'm going to be honest, is probably the two that I can recall is the Jericho one, where he was stuck in a shark cage, and the Enzo Amore one.
I loved Enzo in that thing. That was hilarious. I loved that match.
Yeah, they're only the two that I can recall, and even they were a bit meh.
Do you know where the shark cage match originally comes from?
Go on.
The shark cage match, it was actually originally two wrestlers got locked in a shark cage who were in a feud, and they just knocked the crap out of each other in a confined space.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it.
But, yeah, I've got to agree. Put it in shite.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I said, apparently Triple H was in one, and I can't recall it. If it was that great, surely I would have recalled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So... on to the next one. Obviously, we're missing the next picture because we've done that one. Stretcher match.
Bloody awful.
Awful.
Awful. Put it in shite. Get rid.
I'm going to only say below average because of one that springs to mind. Because it had a great story. Nope. Because it had a great story behind it. Batista versus Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Because of Ric Flair's retirement and everything else, WrestleMania 24, you know, it had a great story behind it.
So my issue with the stretcher match,
you
can't get that many different kinds of finishes. You're putting someone on a stretcher and pushing them up the ramp, right? My other issue, with it being at the top of the ramp, I'd rather have the finish in the middle of the ring, as you already know. That's one of my biggest stipulations about a wrestling match. I'd rather have the finish in the middle of the ring. Yeah. And For me, that's what kind of spoils it. I don't think there's any good stretcher matches. I remember John Cena having a stretcher match. Can't remember who it was against. That's how memorable it was.
Yeah.
There's just not a place for it. It's crap.
See, there's only two that spring to my mind, and that's the Shawn Michaels Batista one, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy one. They're the two ones that come to my mind.
Just chuck it in the bin.
And that's why I was going to do below average, because there's only two that come to my mind.
If Jeff Swanton someone on a stretcher, I'm all in for the below average.
Which he did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He Swanton bombed onto a stretcher.
Yeah, put it.
That's why I was going to put it below average, because
that works for me.
He basically was going to Swanton bomb onto Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy rolled off the stretcher, and
Okay, yeah, I can go with that.
Right.
Yeah.
This one again is another one that's going to be a bit hard to decide whether it belongs in GOAT or great, is because it's a steel cage. You probably can think of a million steel cage matches that are probably great.
I'm going GOAT.
I can recall a few in my head, which is John Cena, John Morrison, and Miz.
Okay.
Extreme Rules. 2010, I believe that was.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Bobby Lashley versus, it wasn't Umaga, but it was somebody else, and he ended up spearing himself out of the cage through the wall.
Wasn't that a Big Show one?
I think it was, yeah. Not too sure though. That one springs to my head.
Owen and Brett.
Yeah.
90. I think it was 93, around about there.
Wasn't Stone Cold and Vince one, I believe, in St. Valentine's Day Massacre? I believe.
Angle and Benoit on Raw or SmackDown back in 2001. And by the way, Rikishi jumping off the top of the steel cage makes this need to be in GOAT.
Jeff Hardy again, Swanton bombing off the cage. There's been so many good memories and so many good matches in there. It's just, I guess I agree with you on that. It's got to be a GOAT, because at the end of the day,
the steel cage has headlined a WrestleMania once.
Yeah, I know, WrestleMania 2.
Yeah. And it was a bloody awful one.
King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan won it for the WWE Championship.
And it was awful.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
But anyway, the actual match type itself, easy to understand, get out the cage. Yeah, love it.
So, another one. This one, I can recollect a lot of good matches in, I'm not going to lie. The submissions match.
I love a submissions match. I don't think it's a great level. I think it's top of meh, if I was to categorise it, because it isn't different enough from a singles match for me.
Yeah.
I do actually think that the submissions match spawned John Cena submission, because someone put him in a submissions match like, haha, you have no submissions, and then he had one.
Yeah.
But yeah, submissions match, I love a submissions, especially because the wrestlers who normally have submission as a move are generally great technical wrestlers as well, which always makes for a good match.
The reason, by the way, we'll go back to Last Man Standing for a minute. Talking of John Cena, I remember one that actually does spring to my mind. Umaga versus John Cena.
Yeah, I remember
Royal
that
Rumble 2007.
Yep, remember that
Great one. Anyways, the submission. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you on the fact of it's a meh, because I guess submissions match is a kind of match where it showcases the actual technical ability of the wrestlers as well.
Well, I said that the great technical wrestlers normally, it's not normally a bad wrestler that has a submission move.
Like if you say submission to me, I'd think of like all-time greats like Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, as much as people hate him. I guess would be another one. Jericho. Yeah, Chris Jericho.
Malenko.
Hey?
Dean Malenko as
well.
Dean
Malenko, yeah. Eddie Guerrero. At the end of the day, I could think of many submission specialists that, that thrive in that match.
Top wrestlers as well. That's the big thing.
And John Cena's another one. He does he's a great submission wrestler. Now, the reason I'm going to say great is because there have been great submission matches. Like, I can remember one that was a submission-only match that was like an Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Benoit versus Angle, Backlash, I believe.
You know what? Any match where you put them two together was always
it was always great. They had I think they had a 2 out of 3 falls as well at Judgment Day the following month.
Yeah,
and that was a great match. Every match those two had, it was just fucking great. They got paired as a tag team and they were great together. It was just they had great chemistry. That's what I'm saying. You have to have great chemistry.
But yeah, a submissions match I will accept to go into great. You're not putting it in GOAT. There's not a chance in hell.
I wasn't going to put it in GOAT.
I'll fight you for that.
Anyways, right. So now we're on to. Has the internet gone down?
No, you're still talking.
All right. Another one, tables match.
I love a tables match. The finishes are kind of the same. That's my only issue with a tables match. So, for example, you can only put someone through a table a set number of ways.
What's so done?
I mean,
okay,
a tables match to watch, Royal Rumble 2000.
Yeah.
That was the Hardys versus the Dudleys elimination table match.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a match. The only way you can really change the finish of a tables match is to make it more and more violent, put them through 2 tables, put someone through another person through a table.
Yeah.
Set a table on fire and do it.
Yeah.
But that's where the limitation is with a tables match. But a tables match itself, I love the stipulation. I wish it was a bit more consistent. So, for example, you have Big Show who put his foot through a table. He wasn't propelled through a table.
Yeah.
He lost that match. I think that was against Cody, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I wish it was a bit more consistent.
I mean,
but I would put table matches in great, personally.
Talking of that, there was one match that I can recall that ended like that, and that was Sheamus and John Cena.
Yeah, but he pushed him off the turnbuckle.
He pushed him off the turnbuckle, and then he went through a table. Now, there has been some great table matches. I mean, like you said, the Dudley Boys, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Edge and Christian are another one that come to mind.
John Cena had a good one.
Oh, yeah, John Cena's had a few good ones with Edge. But that's a TLC match more so. Yeah, so I guess you could put it in great. I wouldn't put it in GOAT. I wouldn't go as far as GOAT because I guess not many great superstars have been in them. Not many.
It's not something that generally ends a pay-per-view, is it?
That's what I'm saying. Not many greats, the all-time greats have been in them.
Again, I'm glad I don't see it that often. It's always a little bit of a treat when you get a tables match.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like about it. But yeah, I want that in great.
I guess this next one then, TLC. This one's got to be, I'd say, in my opinion, because it adds the ladders and chairs in it as well. I know you say that with the ladders, with the ladder match, you can add a table and a chair. But with a TLC, you've had fantastic TLC matches. I can recall 2.
I'm not going to argue that there's some great TLC matches. My problem drops in the TLC pay-per-view. We used to have so few TLC matches, and they were so memorable. They used to be numbered. There was TLC 1, TLC 2. They were numbered, and then all of a sudden now we have a pay-per-view every single year.
Yeah.
Where someone goes and has a TLC match. We're seeing them too much. Now, the actual inclusion of the ladders, the tables, and the chairs, I like.
Yeah.
They don't really add to the overall stipulation. If you didn't use any of them weapons in a match, right?
Yeah.
That was a TLC match and you won by pinfall, you've still just won a TLC match.
Yeah.
The weapons don't come into that enough for me.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, right, the reason I want to put TLC in great is because of those 2 matches that you mentioned.
1 and 2.
TLC 1 and TLC 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there has also been some other great TLC matches, a.k.a. John Cena versus Edge.
Yep.
Where he went crashing through 4 fucking tables. And, the ending was there. It was good. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you can have tables and chairs in a ladder match, but that's only if you choose to.
Yeah.
Whereas a TLC features all 3 of the weapons, whether you choose to or not. See, so I guess for me, because there's been so many good TLC matches, I'd put it in great. Not GOAT. I won't put it in GOAT, the greatest of all time, but I'd probably put it below GOAT and put it in great. I'd put it above meh because it's not.
Yeah, go on, put it in great. I'll let you have that. I'll let you have it.
Right, so we've put that in great. Right, so this one, I think this one is our last one. I think, not too sure because we forgot to add.
There's two that I think of that I think we suggested that haven't been yet.
Yeah.
So go on.
Right, so this one is War Games.
I've never really got into War Games, so this is more of a you moment, this one.
Now, War Games was obviously, before it became WWE used,
it was WCW.
It was WCW.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when you think of a War Games match, the first thing you're going to think of, oh, wait, WCW. But nowadays, when you say War Games, you say WWE.
They brought it into NXT, didn't they?
Yeah, it was first in NXT, used in NXT, but now the thing is, it's used as a Survivor Series thing. Now, whether it's because they've got rid of the Survivor Series, I've not seen a Survivor Series tag team match for ages. Whether they've got rid of that,
I used to love them.
I used to love them
as well.
I used to love them, but whether they've got rid of that for the War Games, I don't know. But anyways, the War Games match for me, I'm going to be honest, I've seen good ones. I wouldn't say I'd put it in the GOAT because it's not been around long enough. It's been around, a matter of years?
Yeah.
A matter of a couple of years. It's not been around as long as the likes of, Cage, Elimination Chamber, Iron Man's, Money in the Bank. It's not been around long as them.
Yeah.
But I'd probably put it in the meh as well because, again, it's not been around as long as the Cell, TLC, Submission, I'd probably put it in meh because, not because there's not been bad, not because there's been a bad match of it, there hasn't. It's just I don't think it's been around long enough to be a great. Maybe.
So, okay, put it into meh. I'd say put it in meh.
Maybe that's my opinion. Like I said, someone may disagree with me.
I've not watched War Games apart from WCW, so you do you on this one.
War Games is pretty good, I will say. War Games is a pretty good stipulation for Survivor Series, aka Survivor Series War Games. It's pretty good.
Try and make, I was going to say, make Survivor Series great again. Make it one of the big four.
Oh yeah, it was a good way of doing it, but I just don't think it's been around long enough to being great yet.
So I have two matches that we've mentioned that haven't appeared on the list. So I'm going to ask you what your opinion is of them.
Okay, so what hasn't appeared on the list?
First one, a chairs match.
A chairs match. Right.
I hate a chairs match. The only good thing that ever came from a chairs match...
Was that on the list?
I mentioned it at some point, yeah. I thought it was. Anyway, there was another one as well that I think I know which one's missed off. But yeah, we'll start with a chairs match. Why not? Just because there's a couple more to add. Yeah. Big Show had one. He had a gigantic chair.
Yeah.
And that is everything good to come from a chairs match. So I'd put it in shite. And the other one I wanted to mention, a bit of a staple of WWE in the Attitude Era, you won't see it in the modern day, is a First Blood match.
Ooh. I can recall a lot of First Blood matches.
The great one, in my opinion, was Austin and Kane.
I don't know, that ended a bit shite, in my opinion, that one did.
I know, but it's like the Inferno match, but it's the opposite way around. If you wear more clothes, you generally win.
Yeah, I mean, the first one that pops into my head, as far as First Blood goes, I know people are going to disagree with me that saying that one was shite, but that one was, in my opinion. The first one that pops into my head is the John Cena versus JBL one. I guess because those two had brutal chemistry together, for fuck's sake, they had an I Quit match. They had, I think it was a parking lot brawl as well.
Yeah.
They had brutal chemistry. I don't know fucking why, but, they must hate each other.
Yeah.
Because every match they had pretty much they were brutal.
I think I would like to see a First Blood match again. That's one thing I can say. About matches we haven't seen for a while, there's not that many that I think, I'd be looking forward to that, but I would like to see that again.
I think I'd like to see it come back. If we're going to ask for matches to come back, I'd probably like to see them take one from ECW and put it into WWE. Probably a barbed wire rope match.
Oh, you won't see that. That's more of a Japan thing now, isn't it? Like but
I'd like them to bring it in.
But right, so we're done. Just a little bit over 30. We won't mention them two because they're not going to be going into GOAT or shite either of them.
Well, no. Right.
So, should we start with what we think the worst stipulation is out of all?
Out of all? Yeah, right. So we'll go on shite, yeah? The ones we've listed in shite. Obviously, they are Inferno, Punjabi Prison, and Shark Cage.
And I would like to say that I think Punjabi is the worst one out of the two.
You'd say it was the worst?
I would definitely say it's the worst. We don't see many of them, and I think I've seen too many of them already.
Right. I'd probably, the reason I'm going to say this, and the reason is very simple, right? I'd say it was the Inferno.
Right.
Because, again, just like, I can't recall a good Inferno match, a great Inferno match, that's entertained me to the point of, I can't wait to see the ending, like that. Whereas a Punjabi Prison, at least it's sort of entertained me in a way.
I don't know. I mean, the issue I have with an Inferno match, I can't remember many good ones. The issue with the Punjabi Prison, I can only remember bad ones. That's my argument. I'm not. Yeah. When we mention Punjabi Prison, I don't go. Oh, there was a good one. This one was good, but then there was a couple of bad ones. No, they were all bad.
Yeah.
I think. To be honest, the Batista thrived in it, sure, but it's still not going to say it's a good match.
I'm not going to say it's a good match, but I'm just saying it brings a lot back. I guess with the Punjabi Prison, the reason I sort of disagree with you is because it has brought some memories.
Bad ones?
Not so much bad ones, because Batista jumping on from one cage to the other, that's what I mean. It brings back some good memories, in a way. Whereas the Inferno, the only good memory, or the only memorable memory I have of that, was Kane setting MVP's arm on fire, and then him setting, his back on fire and shit. That's the only good memory I have of Inferno. And it's...
I mean, they're both shit.
They're both fucking shit. I mean, at the end of the day...
One of them has you catch fire. Actually, you've got to give it some points for that.
Actually, you know what? I'd probably put Shark Cage, thinking about it, the most shite.
I don't know. Enzo thrived in that thing.
Yeah, he thrived in it, but so did Batista in the Punjabi Prison. I guess they're all as shite as each other, really.
I know, but I will take it to the grave that Punjabi Prison is the worst WWE stipulation of all time. I genuinely would.
I'll have to agree with you, because they're all as shite as each other, in my opinion. Because there's been some good memories of Shark Cage, there's been some good memories of Punjabi, and there's been some good memories of the Inferno. But... well, the only good... it's not a good memory, but the only good, decent memory. Right.
The best one. What would you say is the best? I've got one obvious answer for this, and it's Royal Rumble.
Right. The Royal Rumble, don't get me wrong, is good. It's good.
Chat, I don't like the way he's saying it like this. Go sick him. Get him. Go for him.
Hang on. Before we start...
Attack.
The Royal Rumble's good. The Royal Rumble's great. It's one of the greatest of all time. The Elimination Chamber, again, great. Hardcore, great. But I'm going to have to go with Iron Man.
I like an Iron Man match. I like that we don't see them so often as well.
Because the only reason I'm going to have to go with Iron Man, it's for that specific reason. Because we don't see them that often. You get to see a Royal Rumble every year. Because it's so iconic. Yeah, it's iconic, don't get me wrong. But we get to see it every year. An Iron Man match, you barely see. You barely see it.
I wouldn't see a TV advert or hear something or see something on the internet, right? Like an advertisement that said, "Oh, it's the Iron Man match." Am I gonna, let's say, two wrestlers that are having an Iron Man match? Something like, I don't know. I'm more of a past wrestling fan, like I said. Let's say if you put John Cena and Edge in an Iron Man match back in 2008, okay?
Yeah.
Back when both were at the peak, virtually. Yeah. If I saw that advertised, if I saw two pay-per-views advertised, one saying the Royal Rumble and the other one saying an Iron Man match between them two, I would always go and click the Rumble every single time. I get so excited by the Rumble, even though they say, anyone can win it, and we know that's not the case. You're never going to see James Ellsworth win the men's Royal Rumble.
I mean, the reason I guess I also say that Iron Man, I'd probably say the Iron Man's the best, is because I guess, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, I love the Rumble. I love it when it comes around. It comes around once a year, you know.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it's the Iron Man is because the Rumble now, I guess looking at the Rumble now, it's too predictable as well.
When they try to turn it from predictable, though, I don't like it. I mean, the one that I really didn't like, 2012, when Sheamus won, when it should have been Jericho.
That's what I'm saying. I guess, you know, since the 2010s have arrived, it's been predictable, and that's one thing I don't like about it. Now, it used to be so unpredictable that you didn't know who was going to fucking win. You know, you didn't know who was going to fucking win, come out on top. But now,
you did, but you knew it was between 3 or 4.
Well, no, you didn't at one time, because you looked at. I mean, when you look at,
you can kind of say it, but other eras not so much.
I mean, when you look at the 2004 Rumble, you wouldn't have fought Chris Benoit, wouldn't it?
Oh, I would have done.
You wouldn't have done back then, but now, yeah, you would have done. You would have said, "Why didn't I notice that?" But at the end of the day, when you look back then, it probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't have done.
I mean, the one that I can think of where a lot of different people could have won was 2016 when Triple H won the title at the Rumble? There was a lot of different people.
That's what I'm saying. That one was probably the most unpredictable one of the 2010s.
Wait a minute. No, wait. I'm wrong. Which one was the one where Orton won in the 2010s? Is that 17?
Yeah.
That was the unpredictable one. You could have had Finn Balor returning from injury.
Well, yeah. Okay, I'll agree with you on that.
People. There were quite a few different people who could win that
one. Yeah. I'll agree with you on
anyway, what we'll do, guys, right? And I'm going to volunteer Jonesy for this one, and we will do our research for this. Eventually, maybe a month from now, right? We will rank every Royal Rumble.
I reckon we should do this every week, something like that. Or every 2, maybe.
I need enough time to go and watch him and refresh my memory.
Yeah, every month. Once a month, yeah, we should do something like this, because I don't know, I've enjoyed doing this.
Yeah,
exactly. On the stream, we've already got 4 likes for it. I mean, leave a like, guys. That'd be great, because obviously we're going to do this once a month at least.
Drop them a follow. Drop them a sub as well.
Yeah, drop me a sub as well, guys. We're going to be doing this like I said, once a month. If you like this, guys, we do this once a month. That'd be sweet.
We can do other subjects other than wrestling as well.
Yeah, so other subjects, no doubt. I mean,
we can do. I think wrestling's something that we both have an interest in.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's with us. It's a WWE or wrestling in general for me. Wrestling in general for me. I've watched TNA. I've watched NJPW once over a while. I've watched AEW, WWE, obviously, as you can tell. Pretty much any wrestling company that I can get my hands on, I'll watch.
Josh, before we finish, can you just summarise what matches are in each tier, please, as a bit of a conclusion?
Yes. So, obviously, the conclusion for this, we've got... obviously, we stuck the Elimination Chamber, go. Hardcore match in go. I think it was Iron Man match in go.
Yep.
The Money in the Bank in go. The Royal Rumble in go, and the Steel Cage are in go.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a lot more greats. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
in the 3 stages of hell, Beat the Clock, Championship Scramble, Extreme Rules, Hell in a Cell, I Quit match. I think that's the ladder match as well. Last Man Standing, submission match, tables match, and a TLC. And the mess section, obviously, you've got like the likes of Buried Alive, casket match, falls count anywhere, only because of the great Carly and Cena, in my opinion. Obviously, you've got the
Empty
Arena, the Lumberjack match, and the War Games match. Again, guys, the only reason I rate it in meh is because obviously there's not been enough of them yet in WWE, and there hasn't. Ambulance match in the below average, pull rope, pole, and the stretcher. And then in complete shite, obviously you've got the Inferno, you've got the Punjabi prison, and the cage, or the shark cage match. Which, is that 12:30?
That is 29. Plus, we mentioned that we would put First Blood in May.
Yeah.
And
obviously we did 31 technically, chairs match, wasn't it?
Chairs match.
So we did
in
31.
Shite. Yeah. I'd still say that all the other 3 matches in Shite right now are worse than a chairs match.
Oh, yeah. So, I'd probably say, maybe, actually depends. The only good memory I have of a chairs match.
Big Show's Big Chair.
No. Actually, no.
Wade Barrett had one of them with
Wade
Cena,
Barrett and Cena. They're the only, That's the only good memory I have of a chair match.
But it wouldn't be above Shite, would it? Let's be honest.
It'd be in Shite for definite. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good. It's not a pretty good match type. I mean, at the end of the day, someone has dropped me a sub. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Whoever's dropped me a sub, thank you very much.
I was about to say it's about time to wrap up. I think.
Yeah, it's about time to wrap up. We'll do this once a month. How about that? Because obviously,
we'll get. You know what we can do? Like, if it's wrestling ones, another one that I think would be good is WrestleMania main event.
I reckon what we should do is I'll leave it to the Twitter one. I'll put it on Twitter. Like, obviously, do a poll on Twitter or something. See what comes up. Like, for example, I'll put on WrestleMania main events, WrestleManias in general,
Rumbles,
whether the correct winner won it or something. You know, there's thousands of things to do, to be fair. I could do Rumbles, WrestleMania main events, and I guess we could do... What other could we do?
We can think of them along the way.
Yeah, we can think of them along the way. We'll think of them along the way, guys. But whoever subbed, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Literally, we have had fun doing this. I'm not gonna lie, very much fun.
Something different for us, isn't it?
It's something different for from games. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, normally
content creation is different.
Yeah,
you can do different. There's different types.
Oh yeah, there's different types, no doubt. I mean, I'm glad that obviously Jig's stuck around. If he is.
I don't think he is now, but he was here for a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm glad he was here. Sorry about the missing the comments, guys. They didn't pop up on my phone. Bit shit, but you know, bit shit. Which I was hoping he'd pop up on my phone, but he didn't. Anyways, enough. I guess we're done for tonight. I will be on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch tomorrow. Doing. I don't know if I'm going to be doing Skyrim. Might give Trophy Tuesday a miss, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be on Twitch. Skyrim tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be on Twitch tomorrow. Just give me a follow on Twitch at Jonesy316. And this is where we wrap up, obviously. That was Celis. By the way, go and drop a sub to at Celis2444. He is on YouTube. Obviously,
I am indeed.
Obviously, he can go drop his link on there if he wants and drop him a sub.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, then.
I'm good.
Go drop at Celis2444 a sub then. And yeah, I guess that's us for the night.
Right.
All right.
Ta-ra, everyone.
All right, I'll ta-ra, Celis. Ta-ra. Right, so, guys, I will be back tomorrow on Twitch. If you want to obviously do that, then I am more than happy. If you want to go follow me on Twitch, drop me a follow. I'll post my Twitch link up there now. Let's do that. Let's post my Twitch link up here, and you can go drop me a follow for definite. I am happy about the sub. Whoever dropped me the sub, thank you very much. 84 subs now, Danny. 84 subs now. We're getting there. Right, so I'm hoping to actually do another, sort of thing like that with Celis. Here's my Twitch link, and drop a like on this video, drop a sub for me, and I will be back on YouTube next week with, I don't know if it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge stream, I think, because this was obviously meant to do something else. Right, so here is my Twitch. Guys, so go drop me a follow on Twitch, obviously, because I will be on Twitch tomorrow. I'll be on Twitch tomorrow with a bit of something different. Obviously, it will be something else. There is my Twitch, and go and drop me a follow on there too. I will be back tomorrow on Twitch.